Hi everyone, welcome to the channel Sluggers Blue for your CAT VRC preparation. Uh, I'll give my introduction as well as the introduction of the channel towards the end of the video for those of you who might be watching, who might be new to this channel. Right now, I just want to dive into the topic of this video. So guys, there's a particular question that has been popping up quite many times in the queries I'm getting from learners, and this question is related to whether the provisional answer key provided for a certain question which was asked in the third slot of your CAT 2021 exam is correct or not, right? So in this video I'll be the agenda is very simple. I'll try to explain to you why I believe that the provisional answer key provided to this particular question is not correct. Okay, my logic, my reasoning behind that. So let's start. Okay, now let's first have a look at what exactly the question was, okay, and then we'll move on to the explanation part. So the stem of the question went something like this. Which one of the following statements best captures the sense of the first paragraph? So I've reproduced the first paragraph of the passage, which is the pertinent one here, and then you obviously had, like as usual, the four options available for the question. Out of these four options, three of the options were very straightforward statements, which attempted to capture the sense of the first paragraph. And the last option simply stated that none of the options listed here, right? So three of the options have clear-cut statements, and the last option simply states is the nota option, right? Which says that none of the options listed here. Okay. So now before we look at the options, let's go through the paragraph very quickly. It says, back in the early 2000s, an awesome thing happened in the new X-Men comics. Our mutant heroes had been battling giant robots called Sentinels for years, but suddenly these mechanical overlords spawned a new threat: Nano Sentinels. Not content to rule Earth with their metal fists, these tiny robots invaded our bodies at the microscopic level. Infected humans were slowly converted into machines cell by cell. So that's your first paragraph, guys. Okay, so let's go to the options now, one by one. The first option was quite easy to eliminate. It said tiny sentinels called X-Men infected people. Tiny sentinels were called X-Men. Now this is something that is factually incorrect with respect to the paragraph given here. Even if you read the other part, the later part, turning them into mutant robot overlords, even that is incorrect, right? So you can eliminate this very easily. Then we'll next look at option 4, which says people who were infected by nano sentinel robots became mutants who were called X-Men. So again, this is something that has not been said, or in fact sounds antithetical to what the author is trying to convey in the first para. So even this can be quite easily eliminated, right? It was not, the people did not, after getting infected, did not become X-Men. Nowhere has the author stated or implied that idea, right? So 1 and 4 were very easy, quite easy to eliminate. The contention is mainly between the statements which have been labeled as option 2 and option 3 here. According to the provisional answer key, the correct answer here is the statement which is labeled as option 2, which says the X-Men were mutant heroes who now had to battle tiny robots called nano sentinels, right? Now, if you believe that this statement captures the essence of the sense of the first paragraph the best, then obviously you would, according to you, option 2 will be the answer. If you did not believe that, then as per you, the correct answer should be option 3, right? Because the other options have anyways have been eliminated. Now, the objections that have been raised with respect to the provisional answer key, with respect to this option 2 here, the statement that has been labeled as option 2 here, are mainly based on the details of this option. Okay, as you can see here, like for example, one of the objections is that X-Men were mutant heroes, which the option says, but has not been mentioned verbatim, that is word by word in the paragraph. And another point, that X-Men fought nano sentinels, which again the option says that they had to fight tiny robots called nano sentinels, again has not been word by word or verbatim mentioned verbatim in the paragraph. Like those are the objections which are most of the objections are on these lines. Like they pertain to the detail of this second paragraph, like whether these details can be actually be definitively inferred from this, right? And then one one might make a case against these objections that yes, these can be inferred, these are actually implied, etc., etc. But guys, my objection with respect to the second option, why I believe the second option cannot be the answer and the correct answer according to me should be answer 3, has nothing to do with the details of this option, frankly. And you'll see how I'll try to explain to you. Let me explain to you in the next slide why do I think so. We don't even need to look into the details of the second option, right? By simple sheer logic, we can prove that the correct option here should be option 3. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Okay guys, so now in order to be able to lay out my argument, my proposition here lucidly, in a lucid manner, I would require you to make some assumptions, okay, for the time being, and then just bear with me and have some patience, and then I'll explain to you what's the reasoning here. Okay, so see, so what does the question require us to do? The question requires us to select a statement from among the given options which best captures, right? It says which should best capture the sense of the first paragraph. Okay, that's what the question requires us to do. Now, apart from the statements which have been mentioned here, like if I were to ask you to write a statement in 15 to 20 words which captures the sense of this first paragraph, you would be able to write something, right? If I were to ask someone else to do so, they must also be able to write some put together some piece of words which in a way captures the sense of the paragraph. So what I'm trying to say here is that there could be like many ways, there could be many sentences which might capture the sense of the paragraph, which might attempt at least to capture the sense of the paragraph, and not all of them will be equally accurate, right? Some of them will be better at capturing the sense of the paragraph, some of them might be worse, right? So there'll be a hierarchy there, of course. Now suppose let's imagine for a moment the universal set of all such statements which might attempt to capture the sense of this paragraph, and let's represent that universal set by this yellow box that we have here, right? So you might have, apart from these 4 statements, you might have a statement 5 which attempts to capture the sense of the paragraph, statement 6, statement 7, and number of them, infinite statements. There are many ways in which you can attempt to capture the sense of the paragraph, right? But so this is the universal set of all potential statements which may attempt to capture the sense of the paragraph. Fair, done. Now let's look at the 4 options. Now for the time being, I want you to assume that the option which was none of the options listed above, the option which said none of the options listed above, let's say that option also has an actual statement. It also has some other XYZ statement which attempts to capture the sense of this paragraph, but is obviously not better than option 2, right? So in such a scenario, what happens is you basically have a set of 4 statements. You have a set of 4 statements, each of which directly attempt to capture the sense of the first paragraph, and obviously there'll be a hierarchy between them, like they will not be the same, given that they're not verbatimly the same. So obviously one of them will be the best, right? So in that case, given that we have assumed that the third option is anyways not better than the second option, in that case you will simply be able to select option 2 as the correct answer, because among these 4 it is definitely the best, right? So but the important thing to consider here is that in such a scenario, you're not really required to think of or imagine any other potential statement outside of this set of 4 statements, right? Your range of consideration when selecting the statement that best captures the sense of the first paragraph remains just this set of 4 statements, because that's what the question says. Which one of the following statements, right? You're supposed to just restrict yourself to these 4 statements. Okay, and this is the case when all of the 4 statements directly attempt to capture the sense of the first paragraph. Fair. But now let's change this hypothetical scenario to the actual scenario, where this option is not really a statement like the other options. This option actually says none of the options listed here. What happens in such a scenario? What happens in such a scenario is that when you have, apart from these 3 statements, you have one of the options which says none of the options listed here, this basically opens up the range of consideration to the whole universal set of potential statements that might capture the sense of the first paragraph. Because if one marks option 3 in this case, like the option that says none of the options listed here as the correct answer, the rationale that they may have behind this is that, well, obviously if you are going to give me an option that my point here is that if you are going to give me an option that there can be possibly, apart from these 3 statements, an even better statement that captures the sense of this paragraph, obviously I'm going to go for that, because that's true. You can never, irrespective of how much time and energy you spend to create the perfect statement, you can never claim that that particular statement is best captures the statement, the sense of any paragraph, right? So obviously, once none of the options listed here options basically just opens up the range of consideration to the universal set of potential statements, and for the same reason, and that's why you don't really even need to look into the details of why option 2 might be incorrect. All the objections that aspirants have made, you don't really need to go that far. Obviously there'll be some other option which will better express, which will better capture the essence of the paragraph. They can't, no one can claim that this is the best way, okay, the ideal, the most ideal way of capturing the essence of the paragraph. So yeah, and that's the reason. So when you're, because if you try to do that, let's say if one makes a claim that option 2 is the correct answer, even when you have none of the options listed here as one of the options, then what they're essentially saying is that that particular statement is the best way of expressing the sense of the paragraph, which cannot be true, right? It's the same principle, guys, which is behind the fact that whenever students write an essay, they are never awarded full marks for an essay, right? The principle, the tacit yet fundamental principle or reasoning behind the idea of not awarding full marks, even when the essay written by the student might have been fabulous, with huge intellectual profundity, still he or she might not be awarded full marks, because keeping that 1 mark from the student basically represents the idea that there could possibly be a better way of dealing with this topic or expressing something, right? And that's the reason why, because irrespective of how much good a statement you create to express anything, you can never claim that it is the best way of doing it. And that's why no one is awarded full marks for that, right? So it's the same principle here. So even in this case, that's why I said that if the case had been that instead of the none of these option, we had some other statement which was similar to these statements, which attempted to directly express the sense of this paragraph, in that case obviously we could have gone for 2, given that option 2 was the best among those 4. But once you open up this range of consideration to include the whole universal set, then obviously you cannot claim that option 2 is the best best captures the sense of the first paragraph, right? So that's the point I'm trying to make. Now a subsequent question that might arise in your mind, that does this mean that whenever we have none of these kind of option in the options, no option can be the answer? No, obviously not. For example, which one of the following statements, let's suppose you had a question stem which was on the lines of which one of the following statements would weaken the author's primary argument? Okay, so yes, in this case, you need to look for a statement which weakens the author's primary argument. So let's say 1, 2, and 4 strengthen the author's primary argument. Then obviously you can go for one of the options listed here. But let's say 1 and 2 strengthen the author's primary argument, but 4 weakens the argument. Then you don't have to go for none of the options listed here. Then you can obviously have option 4 as the answer. Similarly, here, which one of the following is an argument made by the author in support of whatever the topic might be of the passage, right? So again, if one of these options happens to be an argument which is made by the author in support of the topic that the author has talked about in the passage, that can be selected as an answer. What I'm trying to say here is that the logic, the reasoning that I provided to you here does not necessitate that none of these options will always be correct. Okay, this reasoning is applicable only when you have a superlative, some sort of a superlative in the question stem. like we had in these question stems, there are no superlatives, right? You don't see a word which is on the lines of best or most, etc. In the actual question, in the CAT question, you had the superlative best captures. So in that case, obviously you're looking for the ideal in whatever range of consideration. You're basically looking for the ideal, right? So guys, that's my reasoning for why option 3 should be the correct answer. Option 2 cannot be the correct answer, and I hope by now you understand why you don't even need to go for these typical objections. There's no need to look into the details of this. Okay, so yeah, so that's my take on it. And yeah, finally, my introduction. I'm Anupam Mishra. I'm an alumnus of Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow, and my CAT percentiles for VRC, my CAT percentile for VRC was 99.92. I've taught and have been a top educator in the VRC category on Academy in the previous years. I'm not with them currently. So yeah, that's about my intro. You can check out the other content on the channel, although we have not really put a lot of content. I've not been able to put a lot of content on the channel yet, but there are still some videos. You can check them out. Hopefully I'll be able to, I should be able to come up with some more content. Okay, so do subscribe to the channel if you like the content and if you liked my way of delivery. So that's about it for now. See you.